What's up, Knife Tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and you guys are going to learn something today. And what you're going to learn is about different abrasives. I seen a video. I'm going to insert a short clip of this video here shortly, and then I will put the full video in the description. So I will be back with you guys after this.
You want to learn about whetstone, right? Especially those diamond whetstone that big YouTubers like Outdoor 55 are raving about. If you have got a diamond whetstone sitting in your Amazon cart right now, because of that advice, sorry, but I have to break the mood a bit. Don't leave though. I'm here to save your money. Honestly, it makes me nervous to disagree with such a big YouTuber. I'm also a fan of Outdoor 55 too. I learn a lot from him, and I use diamond stone when I need to. But depending on your perspective, his recommendation might not fit.
Alrighty, so you just watched some of that. I suggest you go watch the whole video. And I want to start off with saying that I absolutely 100% understand what he's saying, and he has absolutely valid points when saying that, and especially with speaking from a chef's perspective. These ceramic type stones are beautiful for that purpose. They're very slow wearing, they're relatively low maintenance, they last a long time, they're fairly inexpensive, and for your softer steels like your German kitchen knives, they work just fine. They also do well with your Japanese like Aogami Blue 2 and white steels that are up there 62, 63, 65 Rockwell. These are beautiful for that. However, the point of this video is that, or the point of the video that you watched from him is that your electroplated stones, they don't last. Okay, and to some extent, this is very true. These stones absolutely break down over time because of the diamond is very hard, but it's also brittle. And you're chipping the diamond away over time. You have that one layer of diamond, that's it. That's why I personally suggest that with these type of stones, if you're going to go electroplated, that you go electroplated CBN, because CBN is a much tougher particle. It doesn't break, it doesn't chip away and break like diamond does. So CBN plates last a lot longer than diamond plates, but they're also more expensive. So you got to factor that in. Now, where I believe he really left off in this video was stating towards the end that stones like this, your resin bonded diamond stones, are only for steels 65 Rockwell and higher, and that's just not true. Like this vitrified diamond stone or this resin diamond stone, you can absolutely sharpen German kitchen knives at 55 Rockwell on this resin diamond stone, and it's going to do a fantastic job and last a very long time. Now, if there is one place that he didn't really get into on this video that I do completely agree with him, where it's better to go stones like this over diamond, if you can, is in edge quality. I would much prefer, as long as the steel will allow it, I would much prefer to finish a knife on a high quality ceramic alumina stone than I would a diamond abrasive. And the reason is just because the overall edge quality is nicer from water stones than it is from diamond stones. Now, the one place that that's not as apparent is like with your super vitrified diamond stones. They kind of leave an edge much like a high quality water stone. So you get the best of both worlds with them, but they're also extremely expensive, and very hard to get. I very much covet mine, and I'm thankful that I have them. Um, However, there's a new class of stones that's starting to make the market, and it would be stones like this, which is a diamond stone, but in a cement casting, much like a chaucera stone. So you have a stone that performs very much like a water stone, like your chauceras or your koramakus, but with a diamond abrasive. And these are not incredibly expensive. They're relatively priced nicely. 110 to $120, depending on grit. You have a very thick abrasive layer. These are very long wearing stones. This stone is going to last even like somebody like myself who's a professional sharpener that sharpens many knives every day. This is going to last a very, very long time. Okay. Um, in fact, I would be willing to bet that this stone will outlast these stones as far as because they just wear very, very slowly and they cut very, very quickly. So now with stones like this popping up, it really, really puts I don't want to say a nail in the coffin for stones like this because these stones still do leave, especially on like Japanese kitchen knives and hard carbon steels that accept a very fine edge. High quality water stones still leave a better edge finish than even these. Now, again, like with your FSK super vitrified, that's a different story, but those stones definitely aren't to the common man. Um, I would say for your average sharpeners nowadays, they're going to either go resin bonded diamond, and now that like this Schiefer cut right here has become, this is a vitrified diamond stone that because they're relatively low cost at $100. They cut extremely quickly. They do a great job. So this is now a stone that I would say is common, or if it's not yet, it will be. You're having all these Chinese companies are starting to work with make vitrified stones like this. So they're going to become very common. But I would say for your overall average, like hobbyist or professional sharpener, maybe not professional, but your hobbyist to people that make a living with knives, that sharpen their own knives. Those people are going to buy either resin bonded diamond, electroplated diamond, or water stones. Um, I totally agree with what he said about the electroplated stones. They do wear they do wear rather quickly. You're going to get a lot longer lifespan out of these stones than you will these stones. Now, if these are CBN, they're going to last substantially longer, but we're talking diamond because that's what he was speaking on. And personally, I would say for your average hobbyist sharpener or somebody in a professional field that uses knives, that sharpens their own knives, I would personally say they get the most value from resin diamond. And now with these stones becoming, you have more and more companies making stones like these cement casted diamond stones, which are much like a water stone, that these are going to start becoming the best option overall for most people. Um, because they're priced well, they wear very slowly, they cut very quickly, they'll cut any steel. As where that's not so much the case with this. When you start to get into your very high carbide, and now this doesn't, most kitchen knives aren't made out of Rex 121 or your ultra high hard carbide steels. they are out there, but that's not typical. So I would say for your average professional that makes a living with a knife in his hand, that sharpens his own knife, or hobbyist sharpeners, this but these aren't super mainstream yet. They will be. Just give them a little while. But I would say your best options are resin diamond or your ceramic water stones. And once these stones like this become more mainstream and there's more offerings out there, I believe this is going to be the overall best option for most people. Um, the days of electroplated diamond plates, they'll always have a place. They're very fast cutting, but they break down. They wear quickly, especially your really coarse stuff. Like, you chip those diamonds away very quickly. Um, and they just from the first sharpening to the last sharpening, they just cut a little slower each time you use them. As where that is not the case with your resin diamond stones or your ceramic stones. So I totally get what the guy's saying. And I agree with him on some parts, but I do believe that he's focusing too much on this and not looking at all the new abrasives that have been popping up over the last year and a half. Again, like or these, or these. Here is a absolutely fantastic stone. I'm not quite sure the bonding on this. These are splash and go. They are a 70%, as far not the binder, but the abrasive. They are 70% diamond, 30% silicone carbide. You can pick these up for basically what these cost. This is a very, very long wearing stone. You're gonna not wear this out for a very long time. They cut very quickly. They'll cut any steel. They leave very nice edge quality. And they're $60 or so. And look how thick they are. And I would say wear slower, especially the lower grits. These, like the lower grits of these Kormakus, for example, wear way faster than the lower grit, like the 400 of these. Um, these are very slow wearing stones. So, it really depends a lot on what somebody's looking for. If they are more into, high hardness carbon, Japanese carbon kitchen knives, yes, by all means, these are fantastic. But when you're speaking across custom knives and stuff like that, where you're starting to see high carbide tool steel, high speed steels and tool steels pop up in the equation. And we see that a lot nowadays in custom kitchen knives. That is where these start to fall out of favor. And stones like these become really important. So, it's the abrasive that fits your situation best is what you should go with. If you're looking for the finest edge quality and you're working with your, high hardness carbon steels, fantastic. Um, but if you're looking for simplicity and fast cutting and, a stone that wears very long and requires very little maintenance, something like this resin stone right here is fantastic. It'll cut any steel. It cuts quickly. Look how thin the abrasive layer is. It's very thin, but yet that's a lot of sharpening on this plate right here, because this resin is very slow wearing. You're never going to have to worry about dishing. Um, I have hundreds of knives on this. This has never even been lapped on, just a quick lapping on silicone carbide. At best, it gets a quick you know, like a 300 Nagora stone, conditioning stone, go over it just to expose some fresh diamond, and the stone's back to how it was out of the box. Um, and that opens you up to any steel. The steel doesn't matter. It will cut anything. It will do so quickly and efficiently. And since these are very high quality stones, with very high quality diamond and very consistent diamond, this stone right here will leave edge quality that is very close to, if not matching, high quality ceramic stones. Okay. So, it's, I believe electroplated stones, while there's always going to be a place for them, they are slowly being pushed out of the community, um, especially diamond. CBN, I believe we'll see hang around for a while, but your diamond, your electroplated diamond, there's always going to be the super cheap stuff that people go to, but I believe it will be slowly cycled out of the community because we have stones like this coming out that can be had for $100, and these are vastly superior to electroplated diamond stones. So that's my take on it. I'm not calling the guy wrong. He definitely had some good points in there. I do believe he was a little short-sighted on the resin, like towards the end of the video, speaking on the resin stones and stuff like that. And I also think that, he left out, now that we have vitrified stones, super vitrified stones, these new cast stones. There's a lot of new abrasives coming out, and they are very impressive, to be honest. This stone right here is very impressive. It almost completely closes the gap between water stones, high quality synthetic water stones, and diamond stones. You get synthetic water stone type feel, performance, wear characteristics. This even wears slower, along with the cut anything, cut very quickly benefit of diamonds. Okay. So I just think it was a little short sighted. I agree with a lot of what he said, but I think he may not know about these new abrasives coming out. It could be that, but there's a little more to it than just this and this. And this is only for 65 RC and harder steels, because I sharpen 55 HRC German kitchen knives on resin bonded diamond stones all the time. All the time. It does perfect, doesn't tear the diamond out of it, does a great job. So, anyhow, that's my take on it. Go check the guy's channel out. I really enjoyed the video. He had some good points. I agree with a lot of what he said. And yeah, go give him a subscribe. So you guys have a good day, and I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope it kind of shed some light on the rest of the diamond type abrasives that are out there, and helps you make a better choice. All right, guys.